All right, my darling Capricorn, let's do this. This will be your reading for August. Whether you tune into this at the start of the month or the end of the month, I hope it's relevant for you. We're going to do a new card spread this month to keep you moving forward in your development skills. And I'm smudging with 2 different herbs as well. So there's change in the air, I feel. There's a lot of people heading towards really big upgrades and they can feel that coming. That's a blessing and a burden for intuitive folk. We feel things coming before they get here. We try not to freak out about it. And the invitation is to prepare and create the structure before the upgrade shows up so that we don't reject it. You know, we spend a lot of time like asking our guides for things and saying, please, please, please. But when they say it's coming, we can often sabotage it. It's very true, particularly for entrepreneurs on that framework that, you know, we try so hard to develop systems and develop ideas. And I think 80% of it fails, right? It feels like we're trying and failing all the time, but one indicator of success is that we keep on trying. And if we don't say yes to opportunities, then out of our success rate can drop, can't it? So we can get disheartened along the process, but maybe something's coming up for you in August where you just have to say yes to and put your heart on the line one more time and allow the universe to open that door, because it's not up to us what works, what is successful, what goes viral. It's really like there's another energetic current. What's up to us is we keep trying, we keep persevering, we keep aligning with our highest needs and the mission that we have for ourselves, knowing that we're going to have setbacks, we're going to have failures, we're going to have things that don't feel so good. So when the opportunity knocks, please say yes and look after yourself in the meantime, right? Doesn't mean say yes to everything, but if you have a goal, a dream, something you're aspiring to, that's what you say yes to. And you say no to all the things that don't feel important right now, aren't urgent, maybe aren't your responsibility. If they're not important, but we keep on saying yes to things that we really wanted to say no to so we can focus on the things that really mean something, then that's a boundary issue. And that's where the leaks in the resources show up. So the training program and the anchor card for you guys this month, Capricorn, is the dugong. So please separate what is your stress and what is someone else's. Where are you picking up other people's chaos, their drama, their self-sabotage, their whatever it is, but you are taking on things that aren't yours. So please, particularly if you're empathetic, work with energetic boundaries around this is where my skin layer ends. Here are my etheric layers, however far. This is where my energetic boundaries are. What is coming through that isn't mine? What am I allowing through? And can I fortify those energetic boundaries? The ways that you fortify your aura is to work on the energy chakra systems that represent the 7 layers out. That might be a new paradigm for you. That's just how I understand it and see it. So if you've got gaps in your aura and energy's coming through and people's stuff and their programs and you're feeling their pain in your body, you have control over this, right? So fortify your energy centers, do some work on powering up each chakra center, making sure that those layers are strong and solid so that when you're in a group of people or a crowded situation, you know who you are, you know where your boundaries end, and you can feel when something comes up against those energy layers and you get to decide, that's not mine, I don't want that in there today. It doesn't serve me to tune into that person's pain. I don't have capacity for that. And keep those boundaries strong. For a lot of us, we can lose ourselves in other people's energies so quickly, and we don't even know what's ours, what's theirs. Is it my pain? Is it my grief? You know, like, why am I taking this on from that person? The dugong says you're going to have so much more fun and laughter and playfulness and people around you if you can learn that boundary part. And that is unique and personal to everyone. So if you're super tuned in, super sensitive, you've developed your psychic gifts, you're going to have to work a bit harder on that. And those that never take on people's energy, they don't feel much in their body. They wouldn't even have to work on those boundaries at all, right? I've got friends like that. They're like, I would never do that. That's not a reality for me. Even if I'm upset with something, they don't feel it. And they can tell me that. They say, look, nothing you say makes me feel uncomfortable. It's just something that you're saying. But for empathetic people, they feel it and they experience it. So Jugon says, just tune in with that process. Do you have enough skills, knowledge, structure, understanding about that? Are your fields too open? Are there too many portals open? Are you trying to talk to all different beings, but yet in your physical reality, you can't even seem to keep things separate? Let's tune into that this month. From a 3D perspective, so we're going to do a card for 3D, 4D, and 5D. Yep, because you are a multidimensional being. We have the goat asking you to understand what personal season you're in. There are seasons around us, but also seasons within us. Women will understand that process a bit easier than men sometimes because we have a 28-day cycle. Men have a 24-hour cycle. So noticing when peak energy time is, when we're winding down, when we're resting. If the whole system works well, you will feel balanced, regulated, grounded all the time, safe in your body. Make sure you watch my safety in the body video. I think people can overwork themselves and put themselves in constant summer, which is not ideal. If you're smashing it during the day, but then not sleeping well, your winter darkness phase needs repair. For women, if you're falling apart right before your period or menstruation, and that's really hard for you, then we need to hack into the cycle part so that you understand there's peaks in energy and extrovertness, and then there's a change. And if we go with it, I find it's a brilliant system, right? We have that cyclical nature. And for guys, it's really about making sure there's enough rest and digest versus enough activity. Also taking breaks and what that looks like, maybe in between projects or in between terms, seasons. Where are the holidays? Where are the switch off times? And making sure that you're winding down and relaxing as much as you're in peak energy work mode, right? That's more about the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, which in Chinese medicine, we relate to the liver gallbladder. That seems to be in the air at the moment. So if you're in a high stress job and you're doing 12 hours a day, then you need to mirror that with 12 hours of rest, making things quite tight. And sometimes it's in the windows of winding down and gearing up that you can hack the most. So are you winding down after a long day well, or are you giving your body more to deal with processed food, sugar, and alcohol? And are you peaking too much and for too long during the day, or can we work smarter, not harder? Understand what season you're in, understand which part of the season can be hacked the most. For women, it's a bit easier because we can see the part of the cycle that's a problem. So as those hormones fluctuate, some women will have, a week that is just ghastly every month, and that could be premenstrual, menstrual, ovulation. Your body's talking to you. Guys, you have to work a little bit harder at body awareness and understanding like what parts of the day are the most stressful, where can you be taking a break, how can you warm up, wind down, get breaks, and all of that. That is your 3D life, very fundamental stuff. Kookaburra, who came in this morning for me, always has a message of take action. If you sit around waiting for something to happen, Kookaburra will come in and give you a stern message. So they don't muck around, these birds. It's saying in your 4D world, in your heart space, so when the heart emperor comes in, there's a pivot. It's also the dream space. So if we're anchored enough in our bottom 3 centers, we can have the opportunity to go into the heart space, which is connection and trust, trusting in the universe, the divine flow, trusting in our own sovereignty, that we are the ones that can keep ourselves safe and well and nourished. It's not anyone else's responsibility. The Kookaburra says take action on that plane. So what do you need to do to trust yourself? What do you need to do to trust the universe? What do you need to do to trust in divine flow? Are you working from a sovereign place, which is balanced masculine and feminine, feeling safe in the body, working on your own identity to be the governor of your life, not staying in victim voice around the government's not doing good enough, my parents aren't doing good enough, nobody's taking care of me, nobody's facilitating the money, the opportunities that I need. Sovereignty says, I know how to do it for me, and I'm going to go ahead and do it, right? And I'm going to take full responsibility of that. I will be my choices, take responsibility for my actions, and be the person that I've been waiting for and the person that I feel serves me at my highest. Yep. Sovereignty, self-sovereignty. Then in 5D, the top centers, throat, third eye, crown, we have tiger energy, powerful, graceful, knowing that in 5D, we can move away from pushing really hard to get to outcomes. We can actually just create in 5D, knowing that the law of attraction will bring it in and everything that's not that will be collapsed. But you have to have the structure of the 3D. You have to have the willingness of the self-sovereignty idea and trusting and being governed by that heart space, because your heart's an excellent magnetic force to that which brings joy. So when we lead with the heart, we actually lead ourselves to things that make our heart sing, whether that's a person, a place, a hobby. Delighting in something is the heart emperor. It's really bringing in that joy, that relaxed joy. If we can accept that pivot place and move forward to the higher centers, hopefully we can fall in love with reserving our energy for the right reasons, finding beauty in the methods, not the outcomes. So it's really about, are you doing things just to get to a place, or are you doing them because you love the pursuit? And if you love the pursuit, there doesn't need to be such attachment to the struggle. It can really just be, I've got the reserves, I've got the power. I don't need to worry about my capacity to get it done, but I want to fall in love with the pursuit so that even when you get to the outcome, there's not this huge, exhaustive dopamine release. I did it. I knew I could do it. Tiger's really like, well, yeah, I got there and now I'm in love with the process so much. I'm going to go towards the next thing and the next thing and just keep creating from that very powerful, independent, sovereign place. So Tiger can be an awesome sovereignty guide or sovereignty totem. We do that a lot in Patreon. We actually have a shamanic journey to meet your sovereignty guide, sovereignty animal. So that can be super fun. So that is your reading for August. Thank you for tuning in. Come and hang out in Patreon. It's a beautiful online community, super warm, inclusive, lots of people understanding these topics and these conversations, most of them going through their intuition development training. We have courses and things coming up. Join the email newsletter on the website, whatever works well for you. I'd love to hear from you too. Comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next month. Love you. Bye.